Hi everyone, this is Sabrina. Welcome back to my channel. I will be doing my reading journal July. I will be filling out the calendar page and also the stats page, and also filling in all of the different challenges that I have. Now, I want to apologize in advance. There's a few spots in here where my camera just cuts out. I'm not sure if it got too hot or what was going on, but it just cut out. Like when I was putting together these little tiny books, I am going to add 11 to them because I read 11. As you can see here, the camera cut out. It just stopped. I don't know. No idea why. But I have 11 books for July, my second year having a ton of books read in July, and it was, again, a great month for reading. My camera cut out again here too, and I'm so sorry, but I was just filling out the different titles for the books that I have, and I think my husband was talking to me, so I filled out the wrong title for the book Black Cake. So I went to my scratch paper, grabbed a little piece, and then just put cake and glued that down. And I am on the bottom shelf of my books already, and I can't believe it. I'm so excited. I'm having a great reading year. I'd love to know what you're reading right now or what you're looking forward to reading if you want to leave a comment in the comment section. I'm also starting a list for October spooky reading, and I'm super excited. I already have 6 books on my list, so that is very exciting. Okay, so I have this page all finished up. I'm counting to make sure that I have all 11, and then I can move on to the monthly fave. I have never had a really hard time finding a book cover, but I did for 10 Trends to Seduce Your Best Friend. I could not find a good book cover with a good resolution, so that's why I did the square little graphic that I found. For Goodreads, I'm adding in 11 in the red marker, and that brings me to 66 books for the year in July at that point. So, like I said, it's a really great year. Again, this month, I think I don't even know if this is the second month or what it is, but I keep reading more paper books than Kindle. When it comes to library holds, my books come faster when they're paper. So I added in 11 books to the paper section and none to the Kindle. I also added a few to my tally down at the bottom for romance and historical and graphic novel. I finally decided to add in an A book, adult assembly required. Okay, so now I'm going to add in year of smut. I had 2 books to add to this section that is April, May, June. I did a new release book that is Lease on Love, and also a green cover. Now, the green cover was Sadie on a Plate, and I did not think that was a romance at all, but that's how it was kind of, billed as. That's kind of how it was described as, but really the romance is like second. I mean, it's just a small little snippet. It's mostly about the food combination, but since it's seen and categorized as a romance, I went ahead and added it for this challenge. I used the heart to add 4 stars for the Lease on Love. Grab a piece of paper to do 3.5 stars for Lease on Love, because it wasn't a romance. I don't know why it was built like this. Okay, I'm going to do something funny here. I printed out the next part for my year of smut, and I go back to look, and it's the wrong size. And I'm like, what happened? So I just threw it. I threw it up in the air. I was frustrated. I'm like, dang it. I wanted to add the next section, but I didn't have any books to add for July for Year of Smut. So that's okay. I did have 3 books to add to the Bloom Challenge, number 7, which contains non-human characters, and then a multi-generation novel, Marrying the Ketchups, and recommended by a Bloom book group buddy. Kind of fudged on this one, but Jen, Mrs. Boom Reads, that's her Instagram, she recommended the Unsinkable Greta James, and so I went ahead and added that to my challenge. All right, so now we're going to make the calendar page, and I just mark a line starting 3 in, I believe, and then count over 3 dots and draw my little boxes, so that way I can fill in how long it took me to read a book. So I make the boxes really tiny and then just write really tiny. So I am building my little calendar, and I also have some fun die cuts to add in this month. And compared to the other months, I kept it really simple as far as decorating and what kind of stamps I wanted to use on my page. I did Monday through Sunday because that's just kind of how my brain thinks because of Project Life. Added in a red circle. And when I was thinking about this spread, if you've watched any of my videos, I love doing seasonal colors. So July automatically makes me think of patriotic, but I really didn't add in a lot of blue. I really stuck with just mainly red, which worked out just fine. So I am adding in the numbers with my Sharpie pen. And I don't know if I've mentioned this, but this is like my new favorite pen, and it's super easy to get. It's at Walmart. It's a Sharpie fine tipped pen, and it's in a 4-pack, I believe, 4 or 3-pack, but it's super affordable, and I love it. It's my favorite pen. I have some basic red grid washi tape and, like I said, several die cuts. I thought about using this Make Time to Read, but I couldn't quite fit it in. That's okay. I fit in one of the girls that I absolutely love. It says every book is an adventure. Also have a stack of books, and then library day. Do you guys have a certain day that you go to the library? I would love to know that in the comments. My library day is Tuesday. So I look forward to going there and picking up my books on Tuesday. Or if my daughter and I are expecting a book, then we'll go like Friday or Saturday. But Tuesday is the big day. Feels like Christmas. You're going to pick up some books, and it's so exciting. I have a ton to pick up today. When this video airs, it'll be Tuesday, and so I have a ton to pick up, and I'm excited. I have a ton already, and I just have so many books coming in that are really good, so I'm very excited to have a great stock of books. I stamped in currently reading and in my happy place. Also stamped some gray stars. I will add in a little bit of blue since the die cut of the books had some blue in it, and that's it for the stamping. Really not too much stamping with July. So I started off the month with a book that my kids' librarian recommended to me. It's called Sweep and the Girl and Her Monster. It was a really, really good book. Historical fiction too, because it dealt a lot with coal mining in London in the 1800s. It was really interesting. So that was a fun book to start the month with. I also read 2 middle school graphic novel books, which were also very good. Sunny Makes a Splash. I think that's number 4 now in the series. It was really good. Another book that really surprised me and is going to be in a favorites video is The Lives of Diamond Bessie. I read the description, and apparently I had no idea what was happening or what was going to happen, because that book really threw me for a surprise more than any other book that I could think of in recent times. So that was The Lives of Diamond Bessie. Wow, that book, it was something else. Okay, let's do the stats page. And again, I apologize. My video just cut out. I don't know. Maybe I was overheating. Like I said, overheating my camera. I don't know. I have the red washi and the black washi. And I did notice once I go to stamp the boxes that I always use, that I put the washi too low. So I need to just pay attention to that a little bit more. Okay, so I am trying to figure out the order of the books that I read, because that's important to me. I want to go from the first book of the month all the way to the end, and I will do 2 rows of 4 and then a row of 3, which works great for me because then I can have a little bit of washi and stamping in the bottom right corner. And then I just make sure the book rating can fit, and also July when I write out the dates. So I'll just add those in, and after I get those done, I will start on the pages, which is on the left-hand side. So lots of great books this month, and I'm so happy that the summer month was full of reading. I felt like that was the easier thing to do when the kids are around. Like, instead of like getting involved in a scrapbook project, or, when we're traveling or going on a hike or adventure, it was a lot easier to pick up a book. So there was tons of great books this month. And I even just bought my mother-in-law black cake because it was so good. I bought that for her birthday. So she's very excited to read that book. I am stamping book rating, and I am stamping them in no rhyme or reason. You just saw me. I just stamped some up top and then bottom. I was doing it all kinds of goofy ways, but I got all the ratings there. Now I'm going to do the pages, like I said, with that box stamp that kind of has the squiggle. Now, 7 months in, I can tell you I'm not quite sure why I decided to use this particular box to do my design, because it is very tricky to try to not get the portion of the box that I don't want. It's very tricky. I used the 6 twice in the stamping, just flipped it to make a 9, so that way I could get 3,697 pages. And I like to stamp those numbers, that number first, so that way I know where to put my genres. Again, this is me messing up with my stamping. I should have maybe drawn a pencil line with a ruler so that way it was straight, and that way when I stamped those lines with the box, it would work out better. But that's okay, because I have scratch paper in the back, and so what I did is I just grabbed a section of the scratch paper and then stamped out a line and then fussy cut that out and glued it down, and I can just use that, and now you can't even tell that I had a little mistake. I did add another section towards the end because I had a lot of genres that I wanted to write out for this month. So just a wide range of books and different types of books, and I love that. I love having a different range of books to read. Like Marrying the Ketchups. That book, it took me a while to get through that book. I enjoyed it, but it took me a while, and so I read a kid's graphic novel afterwards. Some of the genres I included was historical, mystery, family, chick lit, contemporary, humor, and suspense. So those are the ones that I picked. Stamping my 4 boxes, and again, you can see this is kind of, I made things too close together because for paper and Kindle, I have to write it really small, but no big deal because I got it in there. I am going to stamp 11 for paper because I did not read any Kindle books, it's just paper. I am looking at the different stats that I put in the second 2 boxes on the second row, kind of seeing what I've already done. And I noticed that I have not done a Goodreads number, like where I'm at with my Goodreads challenge. So I decided to do that. And I also decided to add in favorites, like my favorite books of the month, like the total number of favorites, which I picked 3. My favorites are The Lives of Diamond Bessie, Black Cake, and 10 Trends to Seduce Your Best Friend. So those are the ones that I picked. I'm going to go back to my Goodreads and count up the number of books that I've read so far, and it came to 66. I was hoping it was 67, but I got 66, so that's fine. That works. I will stamp currently reading in the bottom right corner of my page, and then some gray stars because July makes me think of stars with the fireworks. So I'm going to add those in, and the next step is going to be adding in the dates that I read these books. And so like I just mentioned with my favorites, I will have some favorite pages that I'm going to make for The Lives of Diamond Bessie, Black Cake, and 10 Trends to Seduce Your Best Friend. So I think those are going to be my favorites this month that I'm going to do pages for. But overall, there were some really great books. Like Adult Assembly Required, that was a really great book. There was some great characters in there, and she told LA in like a different perspective kind of, because it just made LA seem so inviting with the people that she found, if that makes sense. But it was a great book and I loved it. Same thing with The Wedding Season. That was so fun. I loved that. Another book marketed as a romance, but I thought the romance was very secondary. But it was still a fabulous book. The Love of My Life was another really great book. I think I might make that part of a favorite page too. That was a great suspense book and had a lot to do with decisions in life and family and consequences and just making hard choices. So there you go. That is all my July stats and calendar, and I hope you guys have enjoyed seeing these pages come together. I'd love a thumbs up or a subscribe if you're new to my channel. All right, have a great day. Bye.